Look at other news now, and today French police have started the eviction of a refugee camp in the north of Paris near the Stalingrad metro station after migrants reportedly moved to the capital following the closure of the so-called jungle camp in Calais. Well, these are live pictures from the scene we're looking at the moment. Refugees there do appear to be reluctant to leave the camp, but no violence has been reported there. Everything looks pretty calm at the moment. The number of migrants in the French capital is said to have risen, though, dramatically since the Calais camp was demolished last week. However, French authorities claim there's been no influx of migrants in Paris, but the problem of increasing numbers of camps still needs to be solved. These are live pictures from the centre of Paris. Now, in Brussels, protesters attempted to storm the European Union's headquarters in a bid to stop the signing ceremony of a controversial EU-Canada trade deal. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and European leaders inked the landmark trade pact despite those protests outside. The Comprehensive Economic and Trade Agreement, also known as CETA, was expected to be signed off earlier this month, but the deal was vetoed by one Belgian region, although on Friday that did make a U-turn and gave it the green light. So here's a closer look then at the deal itself. Supporters claim it will provide greater business opportunities for EU firms in Canada and vice versa too. The deal also aims to create new jobs in Europe. However, opponents do say that it will damage consumer and workers' rights, and they also think it will push small companies out of business. We spoke to Pasco Sabido, a researcher and campaigner at the Corporate Europe Observatory, and he says the deal is undemocratic and the only winners will be big corporations.
CETA is definitely another huge nail in the coffin of European democracy. From the beginning, when it's been negotiated completely in secret, to then the fact when citizens finally do find out, the huge numbers who have said no. 3.4 million have signed petitions saying no to CETA. More than 2,500 TTIP and CETA-free zones exist across Europe, and hundreds of thousands have been in the streets this autumn to say no. And yet people's voices have clearly not been listened to. So where is democracy in Europe? I mean, this has been a deal written by and with big business. So you have more rights being handed over to big business, you're having their investors being protected, and ultimately what we're seeing is the profits of the biggest businesses being put before the interests of European citizens and people across Europe who actually want to have a decent quality of life.
Still to come for you this hour, the Senate's Democratic leader has accused the FBI of double standards for not releasing information on alleged ties between Trump and Russia. We'll have a look at that in a couple of minutes.
This is Boom Bust, and these are the stories we are tracking for you today.
I think that the euro is severely undervalued.
That's the highest output in over 3 years.
What the Fed really wants is inflation.
The U.S. has more than doubled imports from Iraq.
All that debt that was accumulated, they have to pay it off.
And when you see oil go down, our economy goes down.
What do you make of that data, and what does it really mean for the average worker?
Here's what people have been saying about Redacted tonight.
Give it to us.
Redacted is full-on awesome.
Really?
The only show I go out of my way to watch every week. It really packs a punch. Lee Camp is the John Oliver of RT America.
They do have the same accent.
Hey, we are apparently better than boobs.
Nothing's better than boobs.
You see, people you've never heard of love Redacted tonight. The president of the World Bank, though, hates it.
He doesn't really have any taste.
Seriously, he sent us an email.
Well, Welcome back to RT. Now, with the US presidential election fast approaching, the FBI has now obtained a warrant to search a new laptop in the ongoing scandal over Hillary Clinton's emails. However, the Senate's Democratic leader has hit back, accusing the FBI of double standards by not releasing information that he claims links Donald Trump with President Putin. It's not the first time Russia has been drawn into this election campaign, as RT's Nikki Aaron reports.
There's just over a week to go until the American people elect their new president. Not the best time for another scandal to hit the Clinton camp, but the emails are back.
Hillary Clinton once again under investigation by the FBI.
October shocker, putting Hillary Clinton on the defensive.
And a decoy is needed, fast. The scapegoat of choice, you guessed it.
The question is, where did these documents come from? How did they get to the FBI? Is Russia involved in this? We don't have any clue of where this stuff is coming from.
Just to make sure the distraction works, it's always useful to add a bit of extra spice. Why not throw a few accusations at the chief of the FBI, perhaps?
Ironically, Comey put himself on the same side as Putin.
Yes, Comey and Putin could definitely be best buddies. That's believable. The latest emails came to light during a separate probe into the husband of one of Clinton's top aides. Oh, I remember him. Finally, one scandal that Russia hasn't been blamed for. Well, not yet anyway. Because, quite incredibly, Russia has been linked to pretty much every other scandal throughout this election campaign. It was blamed for the release of Democratic National Committee emails.
Russian state actors broke into the DNC, stole these emails.
It's been accused of being the puppet master behind WikiLeaks and the Podesta emails.
They have given that information to WikiLeaks for the purpose of putting it on the internet. This has come from the highest levels of the Russian government.
And it's even been implied that the FBI is part of Moscow's mischievous gang. Yes, it might sound ludicrous, but you need to get with the program, because blaming Russia is all the rage now. Even RT has been dragged into the circus.
Need to do a poll to guess which Dem journalist will be first to find that Comey visited Moscow as a student or once went on RT.
And why not? This is the election season. It's perfectly acceptable to throw around absurd claims if it'll get you a few extra votes.
This is the Muppet Show of the US presidency. It is political silly season, and people say what suits them and suits their side before they get the data, right? This is what we've been used to now in the United States for months.
So you mean to say that Julian Assange might not be a Russian spy? Well, maybe someone should tell Clinton's spokesman, because he seems to think otherwise. He claims that RT tweeting about the Podesta emails release before WikiLeaks had tweeted about it was a clear sign that RT and Assange were in cahoots. And the Clinton camp just loves to share this flawed conspiracy theory again and again. Such a shame that Schwerin didn't think to check the WikiLeaks website where the emails had been published in the first place. Now that's embarrassing. And although I agree it's scary enough that the next president of the United States will be either a woman under investigation by the FBI or a man facing multiple allegations of sexual misconduct, it's Halloween. So let's be a little bit more imaginative and think of a new bogeyman.